We came up here with our daughter. She wanted to look at tiny houses. I had no interest whatsoever. Okay, I'll go. And so we came up here, and at lunch during that day, after looking at a couple of models here and units, I looked at her and I said, we could buy one of these for investment. And so we made a decision at lunchtime, came back and made an offer.
We bought this tiny home for an investment, and we just love it so much we decided to sell our big house and move here full-time.
It turns out that the giving up of things is not easy for me as it is for Cheryl. She has the ability to say, hey, I don't need that anymore. Sometimes she has to make me realize that I don't really need that anymore. I never knew that I was a tiny house person, but I have found out that this is the life that I want to live.
Welcome to our tiny home. We have named it Tiny Treasure. And we are in the kitchen right now. This is a U-shaped kitchen, which I was determined not to have a tiny home with a U-shaped kitchen because I felt like I would be cornered. But I love it. It is so easy. I can just turn around to the stove or to the sink. So I would only want a U-shaped kitchen from now on. I like to cook, so I use the kitchen every day. My husband and I work really well in the kitchen. We have our dance down, so we can do that. I have a lot of counter space in this kitchen, which I'm really pleased with. And then I bought an induction stove, so I can use the whole stove top for counter space if I need to. Originally, we had a glass top electric stove, but doing some research on tiny homes, they said you really don't want to use the gas in a tiny home. So we bought this induction stove, and it heats up so fast. It has a super boost, which is really fast. I have 4 burners, which I hardly ever use, and I wouldn't go back to any other kind of cooktop. We have a little air fryer that we use constantly, more than the stove. The sink is big enough to do any hand washing, but we have a dishwasher, which when I first moved in, I said, I don't need a dishwasher for 2 people. So I stored dishes in it because we didn't have the other cupboard. Now I use the dishwasher all the time, even with 2 people. I don't want to be washing dishes. I want to have time to go play, not clean. Under the sink, we put in a bank of drawers. And then on the other side of the sink, we put in a little tool drawer because I don't want to go out to the shed to get tools every time I want to repair something. So it works really well. When we bought this house, the shelves were in here. Originally, there was a cabinet there, but the owner said it really blocked out the light. Of course, there was no window either. So I used the shelves for storage. And then the cabinet, we took and painted it and put it on the porch for storage out there. So that works really well. Underneath the countertop over here, it was solid. There was nothing underneath. And I kept thinking the space here, there had to be something under there. So my husband got a saw out and he cut an opening under the countertop and found out there was a lot of space under there that we could have some drawers made and put under there. And we also found a half a can of secret deodorant, a soda, and an empty paint bucket that they had just built right in there. No money. I was hoping for some money, but we didn't find any money. So now the drawers over there are very convenient for storage. And we sit at the counter and eat. If we're not on the porch, we eat in here most of the time. I use this counter for sewing. It's very convenient. I can cut things out. And when we have people over, we can pull another chair around the end and we can feed. Well, we fed 6 people in here before. This side of the kitchen is the refrigerator. We bought a new refrigerator because the one that came here was quite small and the freezer was on the top. I don't like top freezer refrigerators. So we use that and it holds a lot. It's a full-size refrigerator. When we moved in here, we just had a little bit of cupboard space right here, the shelves and those 2 cupboards. So we had this made and it's just wonderful. We have quite a deep pantry. There were very narrow shelves in the pantry and we extended the shelves. Originally there was a door on the pantry, but when you opened the door in the hallway, you couldn't even get by. So I sold the door and we just put up the curtain and that's made it a lot more convenient.
We're in the living room now, and this is the space that we've had the hardest time designing in the tiny house. There's just no place to put a couch except where it is in front of the windows. And after we have conceded to the tiny space, it seems to work now. We hang out in the living room quite a bit, especially when company comes. The area will seat 4 to 5 individuals pretty easily. So having guests over is no problem. And if we need to expand to the porch, weather permitting, it makes it a lot easier to occupy the space. It's pretty comfortable as far as having a couch and a chair. The couch turns into a sofa bed, so if we have extra guests that decide to come and spend the night for a short period of time, we can sleep too on the sofa bed without any major difficulty, just a little minor moving of furniture around. My favorite thing about the living room is this easy chair. I can sit back in that thing no matter what time of day it is, take a nap or watch TV or just be comfortable. It's a pretty comfortable chair, and it's very easy to swing around and talk to guests that are here on the sofa or talk to my wife in the kitchen if she's in there cooking. So that's probably my favorite part of the whole house, actually. I like that chair. When we have the family around, the space has a tendency to occupy everyone's time, and all the phones are put away, and we actually communicate more as a family and are able to intermingle and tell stories instead of each person being on their individual apparatus or carried away in another room. So it kind of forces us to be here in the living room, and what living rooms were all about back in the day was to be able to be social as a family.
Moving out of the kitchen down the hallway, and of course they've utilized every space. And we have a top-loading washer and dryer, and I love it. I didn't think I thought it'd be too small. I couldn't wash a lot of clothes there. The only thing I don't like is it's so loud, and everything echoes in the house when it's that loud, but it washes really well. It's easy to use. Now, we have a laundromat here at the clubhouse, which is really nice. They just remodeled it, but I don't like schlepping stuff around. Above the washer is another cubbyhole with lots of storage. We have our Christmas stuff up there, extra paper products up there, and that's really handy. And then we put in a little hanger on the side to hang the hangers, and then we have 2 ladders, a really tall ladder and then a smaller ladder stuffed beside the washer. There was enough space so that we could reach everything in the house, and he's tall, I'm short, so it really helps. I think it's really convenient, and I'm really grateful to have a washer and dryer in the tiny house. We're in the bathroom of the tiny house, and as you can see, it's not a tiny bathroom. I'm thrilled with this bathroom. We used to have a cupboard, just a single cupboard over the toilet, and recently my husband put in all this medicine cabinet, and we have a lot of stuff, more stuff than we thought we had. So we have that, and there's storage under the vanity. And then the shower is huge, and if I could do it again, I would have the shower shortened and have a linen closet in here, but it's a good shower, and it's really good for a big man. So, and then I put in a little bookcase my neighbor was getting rid of just to hold all the stuff in there, so that helps. It doesn't take up room. You can still get in the shower, and we have a nice window above. If I could change anything in here, I would put a window in the bathroom that opens up, and we've talked about it, but it's very expensive to put windows in. We have a flushable toilet with a bidet and a heated toilet seat, which my husband never experienced in our old house, and now that we only have one bathroom, he gets to use the heated toilet seat, and I don't think he'll ever give it up. We lived in Florida, and we moved to Georgia, built a house there, and it was 3,000 square feet.
Both of us were interested in camping, and actually lived 3 years in a 8 by 30 with no slide outs. And when you get to be in a trailer like that, you get to really know the other person. And she and I just were so compatible. I knew that no matter where we lived or what we did, it was going to be a good experience.
When we came up here and found this place, we just decided, like I think we already mentioned about investment, and then we loved it so much we didn't want anybody else to live here.
Here we are, and just living the dream.
Well, and the other thing was that several people had looked at this model, and the salesman said, I have a lady that said she wanted to sleep on it, and so we signed the papers. She called that night and said, yes, I want it. But it was too
late for her.
You can't sleep on it.
We made the decision at a moment's notice, and I haven't been the least bit sorry.
As far as the cost of the tiny home goes, I think they're really high these days. I remember when I first started watching about tiny homes 20 years ago, you could get them for $40,000. We paid $183,000, I think, for this tiny home. We probably put $10,000 into it. But our philosophy is, this is our life, and this is where we live, and we want it to be as comfortable and beautiful as we can make it. So we're okay with that. The HOA here, and it's surprising because you say the HOA, like we pay almost $700 a month, but actually part of that is the taxes and everything, and then the other part is the lifestyle. And I'm not sure how it's divided, but it's probably kind of half. So you're paying like $400 for the taxes and maintenance and everything, and then maybe $300 for the lifestyle. So it's not that bad. I mean, they maintain everything. It includes the yard and the garbage and
water, and
we have water and cable, and it's a fabulous management team here. They make it very easy for us to just turnkey. Last summer, we went to Europe for a month. We just locked the door and went and came back. Our place was maintained, and we didn't even have to worry about it. So to me, that's worth a lot. And it's a great community. When we had Helene, we were without electric for days and phone, and they had a generator up the clubhouse, and everybody brought their food up, and we cooked it up there and shared it. So that was amazing. We lived in Florida for over 20 years, never had a hurricane move in, and 2 weeks later, Helene hits after we finally moved in for good. So that was fun and games.
And if you want to be part of the community, you go up and you get involved. If you don't, you can still live in your tiny home and be just as introverted as you want to be, yeah. This is the main bedroom that was originally with the tiny home. It was considered a single bedroom tiny home at the time, but my wife and I enjoyed the idea of having a second bedroom. And since this was the primary bedroom, I was able to occupy it. And it's kind of more of a museum than it is a bedroom to me. I have displayed my collectibles here of NASCAR memorabilia. This is a collection that I've been working on since 1962 when I saw my first race, and able to show them to people that are interested and enjoy them rather than having to store them. This is a double-sized bed, and I find it quite comfortable for one person. The space underneath it is all utilized, and I'm hoping to, in the very near future, raise it up maybe 2 more inches so that I can add just a little bit more space underneath there. The closets I find are pretty good size and ample for storing my shirts and pants and jackets. I find that having the high ceilings in the bedroom as well as the rest of the house gives a not so closed in feeling, and naturally the light comes in the mornings and is able to keep me from sleeping too late so I can get up and get some things done around the house.
Welcome to my bedroom. This is a 2-bedroom tiny house. My husband's bedroom, you just saw, and We sleep separately because my husband snores and he keeps me awake, and he's been doing that for years. But one night he was snoring so loud that I decided I would wake him up and ask him to stop. And I looked over and he wasn't even in the bed with me. And lo and behold, I was the person snoring. So now we both snore and we both sleep separate, and we sleep much better in separate beds. My bed is a queen size bed. It's plenty, and my daughter comes over, we sleep together, or my sister, so it's fine. Everybody but my husband. I have French doors that in the summertime you open them to the porch, and it's really beautiful, and the breeze comes in. There's a window right across, and the breeze comes in, and it feels like you're on vacation. This room is great, it's big, it's bright, and I have a lot of storage. We had a custom wardrobe put in and a lot of storage above the custom wardrobe. And then I have a shoe cabinet here beside the wall from IKEA. We have a program here at the tiny house community where once a year, anything you don't want, you put out on the street, and if somebody wants it, they come by and get it. So I got the shoe cabinet here. My grandson got a whole set of golf clubs. It's a really nice setup here. My bedroom I had before was much bigger. I had a really big walk-in closet, much bigger than I needed. But what I like about this is cozy. I very much like cozy. I feel it's sufficient. I don't want to collect a lot of stuff. I don't need inventory I have to maintain because I just want to play. So it's perfect. We are on the porch, which is one of the things I love about the tiny house. A lot of tiny houses have porches, but they're not this large. When we bought the house, the porch was not screened, and my husband and daughter screened it in. And the ceilings were all natural color, but it was fading and bad, so we had that painted. And then we decided we needed more storage, so we bought some cabinets at a garage sale, the tall cabinet, and the small cabinet on top used to be in the kitchen. And it was painted the kitchen color, so we painted it to match. My goal was to paint all the storage the same color as the house so it looked bigger because it's monochromatic. And then we bought some chairs. So this was my grandmother's chair, so it's very old and it's very comfortable and very heavy duty. If the weather is comfortable, we're out here. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have company come over. A lot of the neighbors will stop by and we have a glass of wine if it's nighttime or coffee in the morning, and we eat out here, and we love being outside. The mosquitoes love me, so I really love having a screened-in porch where we can be outside most of the time. And it's convenient, and it's like an extension of the living room. It's big enough we can open the doors, and probably at least 9 months of the year we get to use the porch. We're planning on living tiny until we have to be carried out. That's our hope, anyway.
It's become a lifestyle to us now. We enjoy the ability to be able to get out and explore the area, and it is so easy to maintain this place.
The other thing is we were looking at, there's a neighborhood near here that's just beautiful. The homes are beautiful. And we went over and looked at one for sale but it was 1,900 square feet, and I just felt lost in there. I thought, I do not want to clean 1,900 square feet of living space. It was huge. It's not for us anymore. Kids are grown, grandkids, have their own lives, and so we don't need the space. I think it's a great alternative for retirement living. And I think about all the people that are in apartments or condos, and they don't even know their neighbors. And, if something happens to them, there's not somebody that's going to come help them right away. I mean, people here check on you, or if anybody has anything, an illness or anything, they bring food, or they take your dog for a walk. So it's a great alternative. I can't imagine being stuck in an apartment or a condo and not even knowing your neighbors. I just want to say, if anybody out there is even contemplating doing this and this lifestyle, just go for it and at least rent one. There's quite a few to rent, and try it because it's awesome.